I have heard a lot of crazy things on this app. Well, Clubhouse to be exact. And one thing about Clubhouse is I go there to sharpen my tools because um, I have my own thoughts on things, and I need to make sure what I'm saying as my three, what are my threes? Make sense, add value, help achieve ultimate goals. And some of the things I've been hearing on Clubhouse have been quite bothersome. When you add a facts and logic to the matter, it doesn't, how can I say, stupid is free. Shout out to Cat Williams. Stupid is free. So we're gonna talk about it. Like, for example, shout out to my brother Haas. Doing a room. I think that room is still live right now. One of the things they were talking about was the idea of transactional marriage and the idea of also shaming people into marriage based off of the current financial situation that they reside in. That, and of course, me and Conte have been hearing this shit for years. And here is my take on this idea of transactional marriage, ladies and gentlemen. How can I put this kindly? Well, I'll say this first. If you don't have what we call wake up money or FU money, you shouldn't be worrying about any type of transactional anything, especially marriage. That's number one, because people that like to bring up the past or go to bring up what goes on in other countries, or especially if you go back into the Bible times. One thing that people always tend to forget why they bring up marriage is transactional, that if I bring this, this is what you need to do for me. One thing that you need to remember, they had something to bring. They had assets. They had a dowry that they had to pay. That was a business transaction. And the problem is people want to engage in business without your transaction. You don't have no capital to put up. But you're talking about transactional marriage. You don't have anything transactional at all. So what are we talking about? That's the problem. So I don't think anybody should be engaging in any form of transactional marriage if you don't have any transaction. And also, when it comes to marriage, ladies and gentlemen, if you are not self-sufficient, if you're not independent, you should not be in a relationship, let alone a transactional relationship. You should be able to fend for yourself, by yourself, on your own, without the necessities of a significant other. For those who's watching me on YouTube, y'all see my background. This is by myself. And I would say my financial situation is getting a lot better than what it was before. But let's go to even back then. If I were to get into a relationship, ladies and gentlemen, if I was supposed to get in any type of relationship, this stays the same. All this back here stays the same. Lights, food, water, all this other stuff, and the stuff that I choose to bring in this house, all that stays the same. Some people, now, I understand the country is not in good standings right now financially. Meaning you need the home needs to have two incomes coming in. Totally, I agree with that, believe it or not. You need two incomes coming in. So what does that mean? If the median earning of a black man, let's keep it black people for now. If the median earning for a black man is $56,000, which is top 5, and the median earning for black women is out of the top 5, which is, I believe, less than $50,000, then putting those two incomes together will make a six-figure home, and that will be a blessing. We can agree to that. But one thing I will say is this: keep in mind, if the foundation of a relationship is based off of necessities, what's going to happen when all of that is complete? You have reached the goal of finances, paying the bills, all of that stuff. The short-term and long-term goal is complete, because that's what the basis of the relationship was predicated off of. And now that all of that is achieved, then what is then keeping that person in that relationship? You know, one thing that hurts people when I tell them this is that your significant other, based off of what you're articulating to the audience, is she's there out of desperation. She's there out of desperation. Whereas the idea of a woman, let's go with the uptick, meaning this is not the masses, but this is a certain group of women who are doing better than the masses. When a woman who makes all of the money, Raw, my sister's in the building. Hey, Raw, how you doing? When a woman who makes more money, who can take care of herself, independent. Some people say that's not a woman worth investing in because she's too masculine. She's not going to submit. She's not going to do any of that. Not knowing the fact that if that woman is around you, or it's because she wants to be there. She got everything in life taken care of. She wants to be there around you. This is why I say wants is a lot more valuable than necessities. Your significant other needs to be there for survival. Some others, significant other is there because they want to be there, because they're not operating on survival. They're not operating on surviving, they're just thriving. Not knowing that those relationships tend to last longer and work out a lot better. So when I engage in these conversations, I always tell people, go with the person that wants to be with you. But actually prior to that, make sure the person that wants to be with you can take care of their self and don't need you. That's a gem that people tend to forget. And while I'm going on a tangent, I forgot to get all the moderators on my Clubhouse sign in here. Let me go ahead, get the pinging right now, because they're gonna be like, dude, what are you doing? That was my bad, y'all. But content, when it comes to the idea of transactional relationship, what is your take on that? Especially that the fact that people who are engaging in these conversations don't have anything worth that qualify as a transaction, if you're still there.
It's all transactional. It's all transactional at the end of the day. It's 100% transactional. If we want to go off of the definition of what transaction is, what transactions mean, is all transactional, right? What it boils down to is this, right? Most people just get upset based on the price they have to pay compared to the next person, right? Just imagine you walk in a store and you look and it's 200 men on the same rack, right? But for you have to pay $100. The man next to you has to pay $50, and the other man can get it for free. That's where people have an issue. It's not the price. It's the price compared to the market, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is this, right? A woman may give more grace and more leeway to a man that's more attractive, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get a different level of love because it's based on the woman still. He just gets a different level of access. That's the point that I'm saying. It's all transactional at the end, but people get upset based on the price of entry. I use this example all the time, right? You never gotten into the club for free. Then once you in the club owner come tap you on the door, tap you on the shoulder, and say, "You having fun? Yeah, you need to pay $100 to stay in the club." You're gonna say, "I'm already in here." That's how a lot of women operate with their vagina. They want to charge you after you've already gained interest. You know what I'm saying? That's why some men feel a type of way when they get charged before they get inside, because they can see that there's other people that's already walked into the club for free. Why do I gotta pay and none of these people pay? You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what it all boils down to is it's all transactional. So it's just it boils down to one unique point. Is the juice worth the squeeze? For some people it is, for some people it ain't. That's really what it boils down to in a nutshell.
Okay, I respect that. Speaking of respect, what's good, man? How you feeling?
Doing great. How you doing? What's going on, Concept? What's going on?
Chilling, man. Welcome to the BTSI show. Just to let you know, we are broadcasting simulcast live on Clubhouse, but also on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So I know you just came in, but the first conversation I wanted to have was regarding the idea of transactional marriage. My take is if you need to be self-sufficient or independent to engage in any type of relationship, let alone a transactional one. And from the conversation that's been had, people believe it's all about money, assets, finances. So I would say on that part, if you don't have wake-up money or FU money, you shouldn't be talking about anything transactional, let alone marriage.
You're right. I won't speak about my situation, but how do I say this? Well, I gotta think about this because, like I said, I'm trying to take myself out of the scenario and then speak on it. But when it comes to marriage, I have a way of thinking about it. No, give me 1 second, man.
That's all good, man. Take your time. But that was, ladies and gentlemen, that was my take on it. And I think when it comes to, and also that's another thing I want to speak about when it comes to these relationships, they're talking about leverage. What do you have to leverage over? What do men have to leverage over women? And they usually want to go to finances. You guys, we're going to talk about that. Let me see. When do I have this room set up for? I don't think it's any time soon, but let me check because I have a list of things that I need to talk about. Yeah, it's having leverage predatory. That is going to be a room on November 12th at noon Central Standard Time. So in 3... Yeah, so in 3 weeks, that's what we're going to talk about is leverage predatory. And the only reason why I'm asking that question is because let me turn that off. Sorry. And the reason why I'm asking that question is because everyone's saying you need to have leverage over women in a relationship. However, I'm trying to remember that something happened recently where somebody had leverage, but that was only to trap that person. Oh, never mind, just thought about it, and I'm gonna let her tell her story whenever she talks about it. I won't go in details with that. I just remember who it was. But when it comes to leverage, you can't. It's for the simple fact that there are some people who use it as a way to do whatever you want to do whatever you want to do as far as manipulating them into a corner or into some type of slave mentality, if that makes sense. So that's why I was going to ask. We're going to have that conversation in 3 weeks. Is leverage predatory? And just have a deep dive regarding that.
I'm gonna love that conversation because I already know what the answer is. So I can't wait to be at that room. That's a great topic. Excuse me, I got the hiccups.
Nah, it's all good. Yeah, man, that conversation right there. I'm just gonna leave it at that.